There we go. Hello and welcome to this month in gaming. Oh my goodness, I'm hearing double myself again. Let's turn that off. Yep, today we're going to be talking about what's been happening in March, releases, certain news topics, and what's coming out in April. So to help me with this week, I have the one and only Flimosh. How are you doing?
Yeah,
Hey,
I'm
and
alright.
the audio should be working. Fantastic.
Hopefully, I turned my mic down anyway because mixer and all that.
Fair enough, fair
Easy.
enough. How are you doing today?
Fine, fine. Long day,
Long day?
long day.
How's your gaming repertoire been this week?
Rubbish. I've played about an hour of World of Warcraft last night, and that was it.
Fair enough, fair enough. Well, World of Warcraft, that's been going on for a while, so
Yeah.
what drew you back into that game?
Uh, I don't know. Just I heard it picked up recently, so the servers were a bit more busy. Figured I'd give it a bash. I don't take this earphone out. Once I can hear you out of one, it's annoying me not being able to hear out both ears.
Yeah, I've kind of sort of got this ear a little bit exposed, so I can just hear the surrounding a bit more.
I took the wrong one out. There we go. That's better.
Yeah.
Perfect.
What I was saying is that I've got.
Perfect as your intro.
Yes, thank you. Anyway, so without further ado, let's get into what games have come out this week. And so,
Has come out.
well, let's start off with the Switch. That came out this month. That was pretty big.
I wanted that. I still want that.
Yeah, that's something you're definitely interested in.
Yeah, well, you heard my moaning about it.
I did indeed. I did.
I mean, my quest to get a Switch was completely defeated because everywhere I had the Switch, nowhere had Legend of Zelda.
Interesting, isn't it? You think it would be sort of like,
The other way
well,
around.
yeah, I guess, yeah, definitely for a console. You think the consoles would be lacking rather than a game, but oh, I guess it is what it is.
Well, you heard my big complaint. Nintendo does this whole fake demand thing. Every console comes out, and every game that Nintendo makes, like Mario or whatever, they create this fake demand. They give limited copies out to all suppliers and stores and everything,
Yep.
and nobody can find what they're after, and it just pisses people off. Nobody wants that. It made me angry. I decided not to buy the Switch purely because even though when I did finally find a copy of Zelda and Switch in the same store, it's like I don't want it now.
So you just try and like teach teach Nintendo a lesson kind of thing, a little bit.
I know I'm still gonna buy it later on. That's the problem.
Fair
But
enough.
at that point, I was like, I'll get a new TV.
And how you finding the new TV?
Great, your big face is on it right now.
Oh, lovely.
Perfect.
Yeah. Right, I'm just trying to see sort of like the best way to look at what's come out this week in terms of game releases. I'm going to be, I think the stream's going to keep making it look like we're shifting around loads,
Yeah.
just because I keep flicking between desktops. Anyway, so let's take a look at the games that came out this month, starting with Let's go for one. Well, let's just talk about Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. I've watched a lot of game sort of coverage of it. I guess. I mean, who hasn't? It's been everywhere. It's on Metacritic with a 97. It seems like that's kind of the user score is 7.4. Interestingly enough,
I
that's
can
interesting.
understand that.
Yeah.
Yeah, looking at it, it's not like it's kind of hard to say because every Zelda game is usually quite different. They've all got like a certain gameplay mechanic to latch onto. Breath of the Wild seems like it's just kind of went fuck everything you knew about Zelda and changed it.
Yeah. It's yeah. I mean, it seems like just looking at it, it's got 12 positive reviews from reviewers and 237 positive reviews from gamers, but
Yeah.
24 mixed and 24 negative. So that's interesting. Is in terms of reviewers, no one's given it a bad review at all, which is
Jim
interesting.
Sterling.
Um,
Even he didn't even give it a bad review. He just was slightly negative.
oh yes, yeah, he got in such he didn't get in such big trouble. People had such troubles with him, I guess, and
Well, I speaking of Jim Sterling, I hate him.
you hate him.
I hate him
Wow.
because, like I'm saying about Nintendo and their manufactured demand, Jim Sterling is basically just manufactured negativity. So, but that's what people want to read his stuff for. They want to see him be really harsh on everything.
Yeah, I mean,
And it's got to the point now where I feel like he never makes a review true to what he actually believes.
So it's kind of like he's just kind of gone with the persona that
Yeah,
people have wanted him to be, and it's now kind
yeah.
of gone a bit too much, and it's sort of I don't know because what he was saying in his reviews, especially of Breath of the Wild, weren't actually too bad.
Well, see, that's the thing. He always makes fair points.
Mm.
I'll always give him that. He does make fair points, but he always does his scores in a way that'll piss people off. That's
Yeah.
how I feel of him.
1 second. In case you're wondering, viewers, my background has changed because I'm looking after Ducks Ahoy's house and cat, who is meowing at me because the door's not open. So, 1 second, whilst I walk in the background, open the door, and let me out. And probably have to keep the door ajar, so I won't keep getting yelled at. So, 1 second, people. So unprofessional. Right, that's now annoyingly ajar. But oh well. Anyway, back to the podcast. Yeah, so other than Jim Sterling, it seems like this has been well received. Looks like it's a good entry to the Legend of Zelda. I've kind of seen it as almost like the game it was always supposed to be in a way. Like when they first brought out Legend of Zelda back on the SNES, it was the first, yeah. That was kind of like had that open world feel, didn't it? It was just go at it kind of thing, run at it. So I guess it's kind of like almost a modern day translation of the first one in its own way.
Well, they all have an open world thing to them. You know,
I guess so.
Zelda's never been open world, but like I said, they all try and reinvent the series in some way. Like the first game was top down, the second one was side scrolling and top down just for the map.
Yeah.
And then, you know, Link to the Past brought in the two worlds and all that. And every game in the series has always tried to do something new, but this one seems like it just kind of they went for completely new.
Yeah.
You know, new gameplay mechanics. You know, even like your Master Sword breaks after a couple of hits and stuff, but then it recharges.
Oh.
So
wow. The Master Sword.
Like
Interesting.
It seems like someone summed it up as it's basically like Skyrim meets Zelda.
Fair enough. I can see that. Yeah.
That's a good way of putting it.
I mean, I guess kind of Nintendo have obviously been watching. Well, I say Nintendo have been watching the gaming world and kind of taking their assumptions based on that. But then you could say the complete opposite for a lot of their decisions as well.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's kind of like I feel like I kind of feel like where else could Zelda have gone? Like,
I think with Nintendo games, they don't need to go anywhere.
No.
Well, I mean, they basically get away with reinventing the same games over and over.
I mean, that's what they did,
and they never fail. You know, like I always challenge people, find a game that Nintendo have actually made themselves that hasn't been a flop.
Yeah.
That has been a flop.
True.
That hasn't, because otherwise all the games would have flopped.
Yeah. Because I mean, I guess how many times has Mario been redone and Zelda was always? With Zelda, they've always they have the whole story and lore to go with that. You know, they actually
always reinvent it in some small way.
Yeah.
But it's always the same core gameplay.
So do you think they've kind of maybe, if they're going to do the next Zelda game in X amount of years, have they almost shot themselves in the foot by now launching into an open world game that they might not be able to pull themselves back from that? What do you think?
No, I think it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Thing with Zelda is the same with Mario. You know, it comes out every, like, say, 5-7 years, whatever it is. You know, you get the handheld ones, but not everyone has a handheld console, obviously. But every time they bring out a Zelda game, by the time it's released, you want more anyway.
Yeah.
It's not like Assassin's Creed where it was coming out every year and people were like, I'm sick of Assassin's
Creed. Yeah,
Creed.
that's true. That's very true. Now, that's a good point. So give it the time and you'll be okay.
Yeah.
Like, I kind of feel like what we're getting with superhero films is superhero fatigue because we get 4 or 5 a year now.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, same with...
on the bright side, we get 4 or 5 a year, but now DC are filling the void by giving us shit films. So we've actually got good films to look forward to.
So now it's a bit of a gamble almost when you go. You got that sort of... It's kind of like... I watched this thing about DreamWorks today. It's kind of like... When you go see a DreamWorks film, you're never sure if it's going to be good or not. Like, you go see a Pixar film or a Disney film, these days it's kind of like, oh, it's more than likely it's going to be good. Like, they've got the quality control down. As DreamWorks never had the quality control down. So yeah,
Even Pixar, when everything shits the bed, they still make a good film. What was it? Toy Story got deleted twice.
yes, once it got deleted once.
Once.
Yeah, the whole thing, but thanks to a backup, so someone on
Yeah.
maternity leave, I think. But yeah. So yeah, I'm interested to see what the next Mario game is going to be, because I think that's going to be the true telling. Because one of the things I saw in that is obviously the open. That's November, I think, but that's having the sort of like metropolis kind of big city vibe, which they've shoved it in, and that's like whoa, they've really thrown it out there. Like with Breath of the Wild, it was like oh that makes sense, but with this, it's kind of like ooh, is that going to work?
Yeah.
So I think that's going to be fascinating.
I haven't seen too much on it or heard too much about it, but I did see like an image of him kind of walking down an actual street, and I was like, "What?
Yeah,
That's weird."
it's quite
But
funny.
at the same time, I'd accept that.
I mean, it made me far more curious of the new Mario game than any other since Galaxy. Um,
Yeah.
so but it's quite funny. Sort of like I was watching a game theory. They were talking like sort of about mentioning this new Mario game and how annoying it is, because in the whole of the game theory and everything, they've always measured the all the characters of Mario and everything. You finally get a picture of Mario running around with humans, and he's like 2 feet or something.
He's like up to their knee.
So it's like what?
He's bumping in heads with people, but not the right heads.
So it's like these people are humans. What the hell is he? So and Waluigi, who everyone thought was quite tall, is now a small man. You know?
Yeah.
Has a small man complex now. So yeah,
Curious how big Bowser is then.
size of a normal human, maybe a bit. I don't know,
Yeah,
5 foot,
probably.
5 foot, a
He
little
runs up
bit.
to a guy, tries to intimidate them. Yeah.
I mean, it'd still be quite intimidating. Like, ooh. I mean, think
Yeah,
about
well,
seals.
is it a big dragon?
Yeah, Right. So, Legend of Zelda down. What else came out this month? We had.
Oh,
Oh.
just before we go on, just to come back to another point. I was saying like how with like Zelda and Mario and stuff, they come out every couple of years, and
Yes.
when they do come out, you're in the mood for it. It hasn't come out yet, but Red Dead Redemption 2 is a good example of that. By the time that gets there hasn't been a new Red Dead game in years, so people are ready for a game like that.
There hasn't been a good Red Dead. Did you say a good game in years?
No,
I
it
don't
hasn't
think
been
there's
a
any.
But even like if you consider like GTA 5, sort of the same series of games, I'd consider the
True.
same engines on it.
Yeah.
And that came out what, like 4 years ago now.
2013. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And we
So
had.
even Red Dead's like sort of people are ready for an open world Rockstar game.
Well, yes. But yeah, Red Dead was Redemption 2009, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
So long time coming. But hey, I think it was the perfect amount of time to leave it.
Yeah.
With that, it's sort of like there's been this build up of sort of we have the games that do open world and everything, but the vibe I think they brought to the table with Red Dead is what's missing the most, I think, and that's kind of like what everyone, especially me, just want to dive back into.
I just want to shoot a rabbit. And actually, I just want to shoot my horse in the back of the head again.
Oh my! Well, accidentally?
Yes, accidentally.
I can't believe that was a thing. Like, I did that as well. I'm just like, oh damn it!
So good. You ever see Achievement Hunter's unicorn video in it?
I didn't know.
You got the throwing axe, the tomahawks in it, and they made a unicorn by throwing the tomahawk into the horse's head. Immediately kills it, but for a split second, it's alive.
Oh jeez.
Anyway, moving on to your next point. Sorry about that.
Yeah. Yes. Anyway, so next game coming out or has come out is Wildlands. Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands, or as I used to call it, Ghost Raccoon. But yeah, Ghost Recon Wildlands. This has finally come out. I think this was shown like 2.5 years ago, maybe further.
Good long while.
And
have you any interest in it?
Nope.
Well, I'll shut that conversation down.
And this, let's have a quick look. Ghost. Right. So this was given a 72 or a 76 on the Xbox. So shove them together, 74 it got, and user score of 6. So not too much there. I think. Yeah, I think a lot of people's complaints were the open world didn't feel justified almost, or it was a bit too empty at some points. But I guess if you're trying to make the vibe of that game, you've got to do that, really. You've got to have that.
It's definitely a hard one to pull off. I mean, Rockstar, are the only people I've really seen pull off a true open world that feels like it's living and breathing.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
Like even you look at Breath of the Wild, it looks very empty
Yes, true.
for the most part.
That's very true. It looks more like a Windows XP background. The majority of the beginning.
You know, I started trying to play Skyrim recently,
Yes.
and I can't get into that at all because it's an open world game. Everybody raves about it, but I just can't get into it because everyone you walk up to looks like a robot, talks like a robot, walks like a robot, and then there's nothing really happening in between places and all. You might get attacked by something every now and again, but other than that, it doesn't feel like it's an actual world. It looks pretty, but that's about it.
Interesting. It's kind of like, I think back then there wasn't that. Obviously, there's always been loads of open world games, but the fight to make a good open world game and big use of the surrounding is now become, center of a lot of games, I think. And
Yeah.
I think it really shows that sometimes, sadly, games that were great doesn't really hold the test of time because of certain things. Obviously, it can still be a great game, but you know what I mean in terms of emptiness and landscape.
Even like look at Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah,
they were always very linear games, and then Metal Gear Solid 5 came out, and I was like, "What the fuck is this shit?"
Yeah, no, my friend's main complaint was that it was like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, it's so huge. Like, what the hell's going on?
That's what I felt. What's the other one? Not an open world, but I think we've had the same opinion. This Uncharted 4, the areas became really open. It became too open in some sections as well.
It was more for me. I think they did go around some of the parts with like adding the Jeep. That was fine because it was a new mechanic. But for me, it was when they got onto the island, and there's the part where you have like sort of almost the grassy columns.
I hate them.
Yeah, that
so stupid, out of place. Didn't make sense.
It was kind of like you're here, the end's here, and like here's like, it's like a blah, trying, So yeah, that was the part of the game that made me feel a bit out. But I guess with that, it's kind of like they do have parts in Uncharted where there are empty things that nothing really happens. You're just walking through, and it like, excuse me, it's the pirate village. Like that's all completely derelict, and that's beautiful, and it's a time to reflect on what's happened. You talk to your brother.
That's acceptable.
Yeah, but
when it comes to the actual gameplay parts and they open it up, as you said, with those pillars, it becomes confusing.
Yeah, because it's almost like with Uncharted, it's like, okay, here's my cover, I go that way. And then all of a sudden it was like, okay, that's not my cover. Oh, it's everywhere now. So you really had to change up, and it didn't do that a lot. It was only really in that area, and that kind of threw me for that one. But yeah.
There were a few areas where it threw me off. So whenever you're in the boat trying to find, get every statue to come up and point in the direction of it and all.
Oh, that's
that was
true.
A very big, wide open
area.
That's
very true, yeah.
For a long while, I was so confused what I was doing.
Yeah.
But as I said, it's not an open world, but it's just an example of a game going, well, everything's getting bigger now. We need to go bigger with our areas and make them more open. And
yeah,
I think it suffered for it.
Interesting. I agree with that. I agree with the majority of that statement. I think that's a fair jab at that game. I mean, it's got so many Game of the Year awards. We're allowed to jab at it.
Well, like as me, you, and Dux have all said it. It's not a bad game.
No.
It's a fantastic game, but it's not a great Uncharted game.
Exactly. And
I put it in the I was going to say I put it in the top 3, but I mean, there's only 4 really, apart from the PSP ones. But who the fuck played them?
Yeah.
But it's definitely in the last 2 of the series for me.
Yeah, I think
I'd actually put it 4th.
Oh, really? Well, I'm fighting. Uncharted 3 and Uncharted 4 are fighting at the moment, and I don't think they'll ever resolve it. It's one of those things. Okay, so next game that came out was Horizon Zero Dawn.
I wanted to ask you about that.
Yes, and luckily this is the one
game. You're enjoying the crap out of it, aren't you?
I am, and I wish I had more time to bloody well play it. So this one, I believe, got a 97 or 98. Horizon. Where are you?
I got to play about 20 minutes of it, nothing major.
Oh, I got an 89.
And I think this isn't me criticizing the game for being bad, because it's not bad. This is just me realizing that I hate open world now.
Yeah.
Because as soon as I started playing it, I was like, well, where do I go? What do I do? And it's like, there's just too much to do. Like, now that obviously I'm working again full time, I'm like, if I bought this game, I'm never going to have time to finish it.
Yeah, so this is kind of what I want to talk about with this game. It's quite interesting because what I found with this one is that it's done a really good job of the open world, because what it's done is the pathways you go on are quite linear. Like, it's, if you played the game quite deeply and follow the missions, you'd sort of start to understand and go, oh, okay. And it gives you, if you like running past a location, it'll say, oh, campfire found. You know, oh, where is it? It's a bit further away. But that then goes, boom, you can now fast travel to this point if you like. So it doesn't keep you from having to go back and forth kind of thing. But yeah, in terms of sort of like new areas as well, it kind of filters you. Like, for instance, when I was going to the new area, which is like deserts area, it was sort of like you walk up to this sort of point a bit higher in the game. All the paths lead to this one point, and there's like a city there, and you go through there, and then boom, you're in the desert area kind of thing. So it kind of
it's not like, say, Skyrim, where you're running along and you go, I need to get to that village at the top of that mountain. I could take the path, or I could just try and jump up here over and over again, and it takes you 2 days to get there.
Yeah, it's kind of taken that kind of mindset into mind, I guess, when making this game. Like, it's gone, okay, well, we're going to try and make it easy for everyone. Like, there are times where it's sort of, what it does, on your screen, it says, like, oh, walk to here and then walk to there kind of thing. It gives you a route to follow, e.g. the paths. But you can just look on the compass where it is and just run for it kind of thing. And I've done that a few times. But yeah, I honestly thought, in terms of open world, I think it's one of the better examples, especially this year. This month, bloody hell, jeez. Like, a lot of open world games this month. But in terms of,
very good as well.
Yes, combat is amazing. It's the first time I've actually had a challenging game. Like, I've come across some bosses, and I'm like, I don't be able to defeat this guy unless I'm perfect with my buttons. So almost like a entry-level Dark Souls kind of thing, because I don't play those games, but I'm happily playing this one.
Yeah, no, the few minutes I did play of it, my friend had got to not a boss, but sort of like a mini boss for a side mission.
Yeah.
And it was just this big brute of a thing, and it was so fast, and we just weren't able to do enough damage to it. But it was a really difficult fight to even try and do.
Yeah. This isn't one in a quarry, is it?
I have no idea.
Okay, because that's what I'm stuck on at the moment. I've started a side quest. I'm like, oh, crap. So I'm hopefully going to try and run away from it. But I'd give this game probably I think 8.5 to 9 maybe out of 10. I'm really enjoying it. It's probably one of the best games on the PS4, I'd say. Yeah, no, I'm loving it.
Yeah, I mean, I only played it very briefly, and I would score about that highly because everything was solid. No, like, you know, you can sit down and play it, and you can tell, one, the story's interesting right away. The controls are solid. There's nothing wrong with them. Combat's solid. You know, the graphics are gorgeous, except for the faces. The faces look a bit weird sometimes.
Yeah, they're a bit static. That's about it, though. They look fine, but they're just static.
I would take about 5 points off it purely for the fact that they don't pronounce words right. Aloy. It's fucking Alloy.
Well, this is like thousands of years in the future, and all cultures have meshed. Well, they speak weirdly as well. Yeah. Do they come true, fellow warrior? It's almost like what is it, Tom Hanks in Cloud Atlas. It's on that kind of verge. It's an interesting film. It's one of those things you might as well watch once and go, oh. Yeah. But yeah. Anyway, so Horizon Zero Dawn, great game. I really enjoyed that one. If you are thinking about getting it and you have a PS4, get it. So
that's one I'm thinking of. I'm considering it, but I don't know when to find time for it.
Fair enough. And let's talk about the last game we're going to talk about is Mass Effect Andromeda, e.g. Mass Effect The Uncanny Valley. Oh my goodness. So what happened to this game before release, Flim? What happened?
Are you asking me?
Yeah. So what happened to this game before it was released?
Do you know, I don't know. I didn't really follow it. I didn't even have a clue that it wasn't about Shepard, and I was a big Mass Effect fan. I did unfortunately miss out on Mass Effect 3.
Fair enough.
Because I had to sell my console at the time to make some money.
Oh.
So I haven't got around to playing that yet. But I was considering picking Mass Effect Andromeda. Or is that what it's called? Yeah,
it is. Yes.
And everyone keeps telling me, don't buy it because the graphics crap. I'm like, it gives a shit.
See, this is the thing. The graphics aren't crap. It's the face animations and body animations. Something happened. I think they relied on too much on the motion capture and didn't really get manually in there. So lip syncing is a bit out sometimes. Kind of like the stream right now, I think is a bit out. But like eyebrows don't move. There's no sort of like detail. and the main female lead. They had two models. They based the male and female leads on. The male looks
Yeah.
like the male model, and the female lead looks like the female model sort of got really self-conscious about her body and shoved in some Botox in the lips, the nose, and the eyelids.
Yeah.
That's what they based it on. Yeah, really weird looking. Wow. I mean,
See, that wouldn't bother me too much.
mm,
I'm a bit weird when it comes to stuff because I'm very much in the category of I don't give a shit as long as the gameplay's fun.
fair enough. Fair enough.
I can disconnect myself enough from things like that.
Yeah,
You know, I struggle with things like that in like VR. If like things look very disconnected and not right, but
that's
in
the point
certain
in
games,
VR, isn't it?
especially like Mass Effect, I can sort of accept like if something looks shitty, because I'm like, well, it's always looks
Yeah,
shitty.
yeah. I was
It's
gonna
never
say
been
like
a
this.
very pretty looking game when it comes to models.
Yeah, I mean, Shepard's face has always looked a bit wank every so often. Like you can't pull off certain expressions like
And,
kind of thing.
yeah, and every character I've made in it always looks fucking terrible, and then every game you got progressively worse.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, I can. That doesn't bother me. It never has. And I don't know. I kind of prefer that disconnect whenever things go for like hyper realism in games. It weirds me out a little bit.
Yeah.
Like LA Noir, they went for hyper realism, and they all looked great until they started talking or moving, and then it's like, no, they look terrible.
See, it was What I found funny was they went for hyper realistic faces so they could do the whole sort of is he lying, is he not lying kind of thing for the
Yeah.
interrogations. Some of them were just like that made it even more harder. Because sometimes it'd be like, oh, I swear I didn't kill the girl, and it'd be like
Well, that
looking
sounds
really
pretty
sort of
genuine
like
to me.
looking really sort of like like shifty. It's like you are lying.
Yeah.
It's like what? No, I'm not. And it's like I'm very sorry.
Yeah, or you
like,
could turn around and he'd be like, "What body? No, that was the truth. What body?"
yeah, it's facial animation has come a long way. And I think Naughty Dog has topped it for now, and waiting for the next
Yeah.
people to top it. But
Honestly, Uncharted 4 blew my fucking mind with how they actually got the faces look that good
yeah,
and not make me go, "That doesn't look right."
yeah, exactly. I think the
They
next
got a
game,
good mix of like sort of cartoony, realistic.
yeah, definitely. I think the next game to top it is going to be The Last of Us 2, probably.
Yeah.
But so Mass Effect Andromeda. A lot of people have been playing it. They've said they've been enjoying it. It feels like a Mass Effect game.
And that's what you want. If you're going to play Mass Effect, you want Mass Effect.
Yeah, exactly. So let's have a look what it's been given on Metacritic. It has been given on the PS4. It's been given a 74. On the Xbox, it's been given a 76, and on PC, it's also been given a 76. So 75, 75.5 basically. So yeah, that's a generous. That's a fine score. It's like this game's okay, but yeah. So that's Mass Effect. We haven't played it, so we can't really say it's shit or not. We can just report on what has been going on. So yeah. So there we go. That's the films. That's the games that came out in March 2017. So let's take a look at what has been going on in the news. And to do that, let's take a look. This is basically me just through a list of what's happened this week. Unless there's anything you want to bring up.
Well, there's the Switch. Obviously, it came out.
Very true.
All the errors with it. The Joy-Con disconnecting, the left
yes.
one, which Nintendo has finally taken responsibility for and said,
oh,
yeah, we fucked up, send it to us and we'll fix it for you for free.
Oh, good for them. I mean, still annoying, but yeah, good for them.
Yeah, but they did also turn around and go, well, if you scratch the screen, fuck you. Like, but to be fair, I wonder, because Nintendo have to test the product, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, when Nintendo were testing it, they're like, right, let's put the Switch in the holder. They're gonna put it in gently. Makes sense. You'd be very careful with it. It makes me wonder if people are taking the Switch and just go slamming it in or something, because you'd have to be doing something stupid to damage it.
I mean, I remember seeing the what was
That's
it?
how I think of it anyway.
Yeah, I saw these videos. What kind of people have sort of putting the Switch into the wrong way. The slide controllers like, oh no, we can't, and then really trying hard to do it and everything. And it just showed like this sort of typical on YouTube 5-year-old tutorial, like if you put it the wrong way, there's a little flap here, and I just got a screwdriver and pushed it out and slid out. And that's like after seeing a bunch of adults like, oh, it's stuck. Oh no. Oh god, I have to buy a new one. It's so funny. So really shows the generation gap.
my favorite error it's been having is that it completely locks up and just starts screaming.
Yes. It's, ooh, it's a bit sort of
I only
yeah.
seen it yesterday for the first time. It was in work. My friend Damon was showing me, and it was the best thing I've ever seen. What a fault to have.
Yeah, when consoles get a voice,
Yeah,
it turns out they are in pure agony.
yeah, it has to be. It's just something not right with it. Poor
Right,
thing.
so let's move on to the next topic, and that is something that's happened just recently, and that was Call of Duty had their leak, and apparently the next game is going to be World War Two, just
Well,
called
that
Call of
surprises
Duty World
nobody.
War Two. Yeah.
It gets leaked every year.
Mm. Um,
Everybody works it out really easily.
it was leaked by the same person who leaked whatever it is, Infinite Warfare, which I really enjoyed the campaign of that. I don't play COD games, so I was just like, oh, in space, that looks fun.
Yeah,
So I played it, had some fun. That was it.
last one I bought was Black Ops.
They,
Yeah, I mean they're fun for a while.
yeah,
I always buy it. Well, I haven't bought one since Black Ops 3 now, but I mean I usually buy them and then we get a few weeks of multiplayer out of it, and then I'm like, alright, I'm done.
yeah. See, I never play the multiplayer. I never bothered by that aspect. So if you took away the multiplayer, if you took away the zombie thing, and you're left with just the story, I would
Mhm.
say that would be worth probably 30 to £35.
Yeah,
It's not long at all. Replay value, I haven't jumped back on it, but yeah, these games are sold for £50 more, and they shoved in the COD 4 and sold it for 65, which is what my brother got me for Christmas. So I happily replayed COD 4, which is the only other COD game I ever bought. So that kind
yeah.
of was
Call
quite
4
nice.
was good. I like Call 4. But yeah, like that's another one of those games. So people buy it yearly because they know what to expect from it. They want the multiplayer. They get the multiplayer.
Yeah,
They're happy with it. Sorry, I had a burp
no,
there.
that's right.
But you don't buy them for anything. You know, obviously they try and reinvent it every year, try and add something new into it, like every game.
Yeah,
But you kind of don't buy it and go, "Well, I want it to be a third-person shooter now,"
yeah,
or "I want this to be." Well, I was gonna say you don't buy it and go, "I want it to be a parkour game," but they fucking did that
that's very
pretty
true.
much.
Very true. Yeah, I think sort of.
But I think that was because they basically sacked the developers,
Oh, really?
sacked like the heads. I don't remember a good few years back, and then they went and made a Respawn and Titanfall,
Yes, that's true.
and
Yep.
I think they did it just to compete with them.
And Titanfall 2 has done very well in terms of reviews. So what does
Yeah,
that say?
it's a great game.
Yes, yeah,
Actually, was
you're the one who
fantastic.
played that.
Yeah,
But yeah, so
really enjoyed it.
Call of Duty World War Two. It seems like they've gone back there. I mean, makes sense because Battlefield One.
Battlefield just did it.
Yep.
They
So
went back to World War I.
yeah, which I think you'd get more interesting sceneries out of World War One, but you'd get more variety in game variations in World War Two. I would have thought.
Yeah, World War Two was basically, especially for story. But World War Two is essentially considered to be one of the worst wars because of the tactics people had, isn't it?
Yeah, especially when you look at what Japan was doing, they're probably the
Yeah,
worst out of everyone right at that point.
like obviously you wouldn't be able to do this in the game, but I do remember the best thing I ever heard about. I think it was World War Two. Um, everybody was terrified of minefields and they were avoiding them. So I can't remember who it was. I think it might have been in English. Started placing signs that said minefield. No minefield at all. Just place a sign so it would slow everyone down who tried to get through it.
That sounds British. That does
Smart. Yeah.
sound. Yeah. So yeah. So that's been
Oh,
leaked.
actually, I just remembered as long as this is more interesting. They also started putting signs on any wells of water saying that it was poisoned, but it
Oh,
couldn't be.
very cheeky. So people would
Yeah.
just have to kind of keep going, and I don't know, probably
Either
lose a
risk
few
it
boys out of
or
it. Yeah. Yeah. True. Wow. Okay.
anyway,
So
unrelated.
yes. So the next leak was Destiny 2. Again, not really a leak,
Yes.
but a confirmation more so than anything else.
Exactly. Especially with like the poster comment getting revealed last
Yeah,
week and all by someone, and a bit of confirmation is nice to know that it is definitely coming this year.
indeed. So I think that's obviously going to do very well. Probably not as well as the first Destiny, because holy hell, that was crazy. That was everybody and then mum bought that. Because they did such a great campaign, advertising campaign. It was running off of like Bungie's next game. It's like, holy hell,
Yeah.
all the people who maybe not had an Xbox like myself finally get to play a Bungie game. As now, I think, I'd say Destiny's recovered and found its core fan base now, because
They're growing
obviously,
very well, yeah.
yeah, because obviously their first game came out and it was like, oh, everyone realized it was not to the expectation they had. Um, and yeah, um,
Well, we all love it.
yeah, we all enjoyed it. Whether or not I'll
And
jump straight back into this one,
well, here's what's going to happen with it. It's got the Call of Duty syndrome. Everybody goes, "I'm not buying this game. The last one was terrible," and they're going to buy it.
yeah,
Everyone will.
it's
Going
going
to
to
be
do
the same
well.
thing.
Definitely, it's going to do well. No doubt
And plus,
about it.
over the course of Destiny's lifespan, people have returned to it quite a lot.
Yeah, myself included.
Yeah, me as well.
Yeah,
I've returned to it about 2-3 times. So
I mean, they can only really go deeper into the lore, deeper into the world. Well, one of my main problems was that the areas, like for instance, I was like, come on, the whole of Earth, we just got to go to Russia. Come
Yeah.
on, like I feel
There's
they're
gotta be
definitely
more
gonna
lore.
yes. So I think there's gonna be more places to explore as well. But I think first trailer is gonna make or break, and just
Yeah.
gonna make. I mean, there's no doubt about it. It's gonna make.
Well, the advantage it has now, and the disadvantage Destiny had at launch was that it didn't have a story going on or anything.
No.
Then Dinklebot left, and they got Nolan Bot in, and they were able to develop it more because Nolan North is just like, you want me to record it? I'll go and I'll record it right away. Done.
Yeah.
Boom. So they had him as an
Good man.
advantage. And they've also got reliable people, Nathan Fillion and everybody who comes in, they'll record their parts.
Exactly.
And they're actually able to develop the story now. I mean,
Yeah.
I think, personally, I think Dinklebot probably held a lot of it back.
Interesting. Yeah.
Not that, it stopped them developing the story, but rather just that whenever like the expansions were coming out, they were probably going like, well, you're meant to talk to everybody, come in and do this, and he probably wasn't going to.
Yeah. I mean,
I think he had other commitments, obviously Game of Thrones.
yeah, it's quite a large thing to pull off for such like an actor who has been so engulfed in a major hit TV series, and then probably been riding off that with a lot of other things as well. So get someone who can do it basically, who can do it time wise as well.
Yeah, because once they actually started showing the story,
yeah,
it was going well. Like the cutscenes and all were great, and yeah, I was actually invested in what was going on.
yeah,
Obviously, as I'm not saying that Dinklebot's to blame for them doing that, because it seems like they could have at least had the scenes developed and done it through subtitles or other narration.
I was going to say because there's not even any lip syncing needed, so
Yeah,
it's quite easy of all the models.
But it's almost like they must have had a rush job or something getting it out.
Yeah,
and just couldn't put that in.
Very true.
It all paid off in the end.
Yeah. Right. We're going to do a few quick topics before we look into what's coming out in April. So another thing that happened, No Man's Sky got its updates. Always feel like it's worth mentioning because a lot of people thought they'd dumped the game, but congrats to them. They keep pushing it. I've had a bit more fun in that game. Looks like other people are as well. Added a bit more to it. Yeah. Oh,
you and Ducks had a lot of fun on it.
They did, and today they released another little update. So now, when you walk around, it was only on the PC. Oh yes, so the PC version now it runs flat at 60 frames per second, even on below the recommended amount. So that's good. And also, the PlayStation has been given a nice graphical update as well, a little bit on top of what they already done. So now, when you walk around, you can see light flares, like coming through the trees, which you can only see in photo mode. So they've added that in, which is fantastic. So yeah, what I feel is like they're starting to sort of really get to know their engine they've made for it, and start to go, okay, now we know we can go back and start doing things that should have been there originally. So that's what it seems like.
It should have been there at launch.
Exactly.
Like the graphics.
Yeah, I think that's the one thing that's changed the most is the graphics. They've really sort of got a bit more style on that. It's a lot more appreciable now. Like cosmetically, it looks a lot nicer as well.
Yeah. I've seen a few pictures. It does look very nice now.
Yeah. Oh yeah, photo modes really helped out a lot, I think.
Yeah. That's it.
Another thing. Oh, sorry. Yeah, go on. You shove one out.
A little thing. I just because I loved Resident Evil 7. I played the crap out of it.
Yes.
Got the platinum in it.
Oh wow. Oh yes. I watched
finally came out, and they confirmed that you seen the end anyway, didn't you?
Yeah.
So you didn't really cover
So spoilers for anybody watching for Resident Evil.
Redfield.
Yes. Oh yeah.
At the end is the actual Chris Redfield from the first games.
Oh, interesting. So the first game hasn't happened yet, basically.
No, the first game has happened. This is a sequel. This is 15 years after the first game.
Oh.
But everyone was going like, he doesn't look right. He doesn't look like Chris Redfield. And
well,
stuff.
There was a polygon.
They said as well in Resident Evil 5 and 6, he looked too cartoony.
And he
And
was
in this
15 years
game,
younger.
we're going for like real looking faces
Yes.
because they did do that really well.
Yeah,
And
another
like,
game
so
we
what
did
we did was,
faces really well, actually.
yeah, that's one that did a good job at it. I thought
Mm.
it was still cartoony in a sense, but not too cartoony.
You kind of got has to be in a way for, faces being changed that much. You can't really, yeah.
But they basically said like we took the images of him and we went, okay, let's make him look like an actual person now, and
Yeah.
that's why he looks the way he does. And it does look considerably younger for what he should be. About what 30? I'd say about 40 at this point in the
Definitely,
series.
it's supposed to be 15 years in the future. Is that just our years plus or what? I don't know. Anyway,
It's 15 years since the first game, and I think the first game was
okay.
about 25 or so.
Well, fair enough.
25,
Right.
30.
On the other account is a little one, John Tron, being kicked out of ukulele, and there's been massive backlash from a lot of backers.
I did like that he tweeted about it and then he retweeted his own tweet.
Oh dear. See, I'm okay with this.
He's losing his damn mind.
Poor guy.
Last year.
Yeah,
isn't that why he got kicked out of Game Grumps? I'm pretty sure he didn't leave Game Grumps. I'm convinced he got kicked out of it.
Really? Is there any evidence to back that up?
No evidence, but I'd speculate that they were all sitting there and he's sitting in his chair talking absolute racist nonsense, and they all just went, "Whoa, get out!"
I don't know. I mean,
that's what I like to imagine happened.
Well,
there's no proof to back that up, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, well, one of the things I'd say is that I don't think he's always been that way inclined. Like, if you look back at his history in terms of politics, it's changed so much. Like, he was a Bernie Sanders supporter when he was the rage, and then I think because this has happened, he's then blah blah blah. So I don't think he's very good in terms of like, you always get those people who just like follow people who go, oh yeah, that guy's being strong, I'm going to follow him. I think he's one of those people, and it just so happens to be he's a successful YouTuber who shouldn't really be saying that because it might mess up his position when it kind of has. But the interesting thing is that the John Tron whole thing is kind of somewhat blown over. He's got him out of a stigma, but he's sort of apologized for it and everything. And from watching the thing, it seemed like a bit like he was like a cat trying to defend itself in a corner with a bunch of dogs coming at him. Like, no means to hurt anyone, but the cat swipes and slashes the curious dog on the face and the nosebleed. It kind of seems like what happened.
Everyone's entitled to their obviously personal political opinions and all that, but you've got to express them properly. And the way he expressed them was it just came out downright racist.
It did, yeah. I don't believe
during the Women's March he said something that came out just really sexist, and I was like, might want to express yourself better.
Yeah,
you might, because sometimes you read over them, it's like what you're saying is not necessarily bad, but how you're saying it is.
Yeah, I wonder if it's kind of sort of like, I know a lot of people are saying certain things just to piss off people who would be pissed off at it as well. Like, people are getting annoyed about the whole, social justice warrior vibe going on. It's like, you know what, if you don't like that, how's this for a change sort of thing? So I'll say something extra just to annoy a certain person. And it's almost as if like he accidentally started getting a ball rolling and then convinced himself, and then whoops, a bit too public. But Free Platonic Games said we're not going to include him because we don't agree with his personal things. Do you think that's right to kick him out, to do that? Because a voice actor doesn't have the same opinions as you, even though they said we were accepting of all people, and it's like, well...
Yeah, but with something as bad as that and offensive as what he did, you don't want to have any association with that. I mean, you see it all the time in, like, I want to say, like, bands or films or TV shows and stuff.
Yeah.
If someone goes a bit boogaloo, they usually get removed.
Yeah.
I can't even think of an example off the top of my head. I mean, the worst example I can think of off the top of my head is Ian Watkins being a pedo and getting kicked out of his band, but then he had to go to jail as well. So, but I mean, by association, they all just went, we are no longer this band, and they went off and did their own things.
How about the fact that Maker hasn't dropped him?
I am surprised at that, considering they dropped PewDiePie very quickly for something that was less bad.
Massively.
Because if you look at PewDiePie's thing, it was bad.
Yeah.
But in the context of it, it was a joke, and it was very obviously a joke.
Yeah.
It was just a joke in very poor taste.
Exactly. There's a conspiracy theory going on that one of the main guys who made Maker, one of the heads of it, he's also a YouTuber, and they did the family blogs and everything, and they're very successful. It came out that there was this person he was sort of like sending pics to and everything, who was like a cam model and everything. And that came out, and he sort of like said, "Oh, I'm in the wrong state," and then sort of like said, "I'm gonna go off YouTube for a while," and then that was really big news. And then Maker dropped PewDiePie because of this thing, and then suddenly no one's talking about that guy anymore. So it's those conspiracy theories that almost they dropped in to try and make a big splash. But again, it's
distract from him.
Yeah. So who knows? But yeah, I think that's it.
He's not going to suffer without them. So
no, not at all. He's fine. But I think just the whole situation is interesting, and yeah, the fact that, and also what's funny is that Playtonic Games dropping JonTron has actually caused more controversy than what JonTron had said originally. Like, there's loads of stuff being stirred more and more. It's ridiculous. So interesting that sort of, yeah, it was a stone, a rather big stone, which has had massive ripples. So yeah, interesting.
It almost as bad as what he said was, he did get bullied pretty heavily.
He did, yeah. But
getting invited to chat with that guy, like, and I looked through they were playing it on the Funhouse podcast last week, and I was watching the chat, and everyone was just giving JonTron abuse, and it's like, right, his opinions are shit.
Yeah,
they're shitty opinions, but let him talk. Don't berate him and stuff. Let him actually try and express those opinions with this guy properly.
Yeah, it was a shit show. The whole thing was a shit show.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that's it for news of the week. Now let's have a quick check before we go of what's coming out next month. We have Persona 5, which I know a lot of people are looking forward to. Set in a Japanese, me neither. Set in a Japanese classroom, social things, crazy demon stuff, I think. No idea. Haven't done my research on that one. Whoops. Ant will know about it though. We've also got Yooka-Laylee, the mentioned Yooka-Laylee, bringing back that vibe of Banjo-Kazooie, hopefully. About Banjo-Kazooie, and we've got Yuka and Laylee, a chameleon and a bat. So hopefully that's going to be able to maybe revive, what's it called? Resurrect. Yeah.
Genre?
Yeah, hopefully, because it's a fun genre, but from things I've seen, they've got a lot of empty space in the game, so who knows. But so that's coming out on April the 11th. Persona 5 is coming out on the 4th. So what else have we got coming out? There's one called Little Nightmares, done by a... Yes, this is... this one is for PS4, Xbox One, PC, April 28th. And that is for... that was created by a little small studio that did all the Sackboy skins you could buy and everything for Little Big Planet. They've done their own game. And it's interesting because it has kind of like a creepy Little Big Planet vibe to it if you look at some of the trailers. So that's coming out. The special edition for that is very cheap. And you get a nice tin case, nice little statue and everything. So it's definitely worth looking at if you're in the UK. Check out Game. Other than that, there's nothing really else coming out too much, I don't think. No, it doesn't look like it. So there we go. That's what's coming out next week, and we'll talk about those releases next month, I guess.
Guess so.
So thank you very much for watching, guys. We're going to wrap it up here. Shorter than last week because we had some technical difficulties. Very sorry about that. So thanks for watching. Yes, and of course, thanks for joining me this week, Flim.
You're welcome. You're welcome. That's interesting.
Tell the people what you're seeing tonight.
Logan. I'm finally getting to see Logan.
Fantastic.
Everyone else has seen it, and I haven't.
See, I wish I could do film podcasts as well, but I've kind of solidified myself in the game world. So shame, but I'd love to talk about that.
Yeah, mix of both.
Yeah, cool.
Funhouse do it.
That's true. That's very true.
Even the Achievement Hunter didn't know.
Yeah.
Probably used to.
Maybe just push into it. I've got a lot of videos I want to do anyway. Anyway, so thank you all for watching, guys. Thank you very much for joining me, Flim, and we will see you next time in this month in gaming. See you later. Bye. Right, let's mute these microphones. Oh dear.